denyo ho wada dang dang. Hengo denyo ho denyo ho wada dang dang. Yes. The Blackport, aka Kukushunamu, where we speak truth to power. And I want to say thank you so much for coming along. Now here we don't criticize, but if we must criticize, we'll only do it on one condition: to build and not to destroy. That is why we say we are in the service of God and country. This is the voice of the people, and the voice of the people is the voice of God. This is the Blackport, aka Kukushodomo, where we speak truth to power. Now, my brother, my sister, from the news reel, we always endeavor to keep it real. And I need you to come along as we deal with some of these very important things happening on our land. This is the voice of the people. Now, the very first story we are looking at today, my brother, my sister, is taken from modern Ghana. And he says, I will defeat corruption in my next administration. I will defeat corruption in my next administration. And this is Mahama speaking. My brother, my sister, I need us to look at this thing very importantly. Flag bearer of the National Democratic Congress, the NDC, John Dramani Mahama, has promised that the next NDC government will win the fight against corruption. He contends that this canker is crippling Ghana's economy and must be dealt with. In an interaction with a Christian the Christian Ecumenical Council on Monday, May 20, Mr. Mahama stressed that his next administration will institute measures to fight and defeat corruption. Now, the impact of many cases of financial malfeasance, stealing, cost inflation, sole source contracts, and projects that are funded but never completed are becoming more the norm than the exemption. Recently, MPs raised the issue of the Pualugu multi-purpose dam project, which was supposed to be an amount of $1 billion investment. A contract was awarded and $12 million American dollars was paid to the contractor for absolutely no work done. There are many such cases that I could cite. I make a firm promise that the administration that I will lead will fight the canker of corruption and defeat it. Well, I am happy to hear Mahama say things like this. Yes, I'm happy to hear Mahama say things like this. My brother, corruption is the biggest problem we have in our politics in this country. Imagine that the Pualugu Dam project cost $1 million, as is stated right here, my brother, my sister. According to that, it says that it was supposed to cost $1 billion, but a contract was awarded for $12 million American dollars for no work done. It means $12 million was given out for free. We can cite many more such projects. It looks like this is one of the easiest ways politicians can pay back to their financiers whilst they were campaigning to come into power. And I am so disillusioned by things like this. We don't love our nation. We only love cliques and foot soldiers, my brother, my sister. We care more about our political parties than we care about the nation. We need a resocialization of the nation. Should I say it again? Resocialization of the nation. Reorientation. The more you steal, the more you are seen as successful. When you leave political office with stolen cash, that means you are very successful. But when you leave empty-handed, no matter how much achievement you've been able to chalk, nobody respects that. After all, you left the political office a poor man. The most important thing is that you must make money whilst you are in office. So this has made bribery and corruption so rife. Corruption so rife. It is no longer news to say on radio, on TV, that Ghana is so corrupt, Nigeria is so corrupt, that Africa is so corrupt. How do you feel when women go to the hospital and labor on the bare floor? They give birth to stillbirths. How do you feel when children going to school are drowned because you did not have the common sense to provide them with life jackets? You did not have the common sense to provide them with proper boats to take them to school. That's if they have to go to school across a river. How do you feel when you see the nation disintegrating, yet your pockets seem to be integrating? We don't care. As long as our bank accounts keep inflating, the country can go to hell. It hurts me, my brother. Mahama is saying that when voted back into power, he would fight the canker of corruption. Now, Mahama stands a unique chance of making history in this country. What is this unique chance I'm talking about? He's been a president before. He has gone into opposition. There is nobody like that in the history of this country sitting here who is eligible as a former president to run for any election in this country by our constitution. Mahama has gone home, voted and booted out of the presidency. He can now sit back at home and watch exactly what is happening in our political space. And being a president before, he stands a better chance of explaining things even better. My brother, my sister, Mahama has gone home to sit down. He's been able to see the good ones and the bad ones. Those who clamored around him, all because of what he was and not who he is. Now he can sit back and say, oh, when I was in power, every day this guy came to me, that guy came to me, and he showered me with praises. Now that I'm out of power, not even a single call, not a text message, let alone a visit. These are some of the things that will tell you that, listen, power is very, very transient. Power, my brother, my sister, is so transient. It's like a fleeting illusion. It will leave you one day. And what will remain in the minds of the people would be how well you serve the people, not how much you stole to feed the people and yourself. If I were Mahama, I will see this as not just a journey through the presidency. It is actually a pilgrimage. Mahama should see this as a pilgrimage. It's a holy journey in our politics. Should Mahama become president again, corruption should be a thing of the past. At least he demonstrated more than Nana Akufo-Addo that he was bent on at least fighting some sort of corruption. We saw how he sent people away for talking corruption. But when Nana Akufo-Addo came, we saw corruption like red fire in hell, and he did nothing about that. My brother, my sister, I don't want to sound like I am doing a campaign for anybody, because I will never do that. What I do is to talk the talk and walk the talk. I leave it here. Now the next thing I would like to look at, and I really would like you to come along. This is very interesting. Remember, I was sitting here a couple of days ago and talking about the fact that Hopeson Adorye must be arrested or invited to go through a certain kind of investigation for talking about using dynamites to scare some people during the last elections so that Nana Akufo-Addo, by hook or crook, would continue to be the president of the nation. Well, The call has been taken to. Hopeson Adorye has been arrested. And a lot of things are happening. Let me take you through this. This I'm reading from my own 3news.com. And it says, I am talking to my lawyer. Are you the only police officer? Handcuffed Hopeson Adorye confronts police. And I read, a leading member of the Movement for Change, Hopeson Adorye, has been arrested, engaged in a verbal confrontation. I take it again so I can make more sense. Listen. A leading member of the Movement for Change, Hopeson Adorye, who has been arrested, engaged in a verbal confrontation with a police officer when he was being whisked out of the police headquarters on Wednesday, May 22. That's yesterday. He attempted to speak to his lawyer, Ken Kuranchi, while he was being moved into a police car. But the officer interjected and asked him to move quickly into the car. It was during that point that he shouted at the police officer that, I am talking to my lawyer, please. I am talking to my lawyer. And then you are preventing me. What is the meaning of that? Are you the only police officer? The police arrested him on Wednesday over his claim that he detonated dynamites in the Volta region during the 2016 general election. I leave it here. Hopeson Adorye has worked with the national security before, and he threatened that should he ever be arrested by the national security, he would talk things that will shock the nation. I'm glad he's been arrested. I'm waiting for him to talk things. I hope he doesn't behave like Canada, Japan. My brother, my sister, who said that should some candidate win a certain election in Kumasi, to make him to contest as the party's representative of the area, MP for that matter, he was going to say some things. And we prayed that that candidate, Asensu Boachi, who won the elections, and it happened. But Canada Japan has been mum about the whole issue. He hasn't spoken. He's been quiet. Well, the excuse is that he didn't give us a time frame within which he would speak. But the onus lies on him to come and walk the talk. Can I now speak about Hopeson Adorye? He said, should he be arrested, he will say things. He knows all the rots in the national security. And before this, he also said and alleged that Gabi Asari Ochridakun, a pseudo prime minister of the nation, my brother, my sister, had spoken with the national security to find a way of arresting him because he was talking too much. And national security said, there is nothing we can hold him on except that he has a siren on top of his car. Remember, he said it right in this house on Onya. My brother, my sister, today he's been arrested. I'm glad. My brother, in this country, something very, very, very bad is happening. When I'm friends with you, oh, everything is good. Oh, it's kosher. Then all of a sudden, when we fall out, that is when secrets are being revealed. This is so childish. You are with your wife. All of a sudden, there's a problem. You decide to separate. It might even end up in a divorce. This is when you will talk about your wife was this, your wife did this and that, and the wife too is busily talking about a husband who was this, a useless husband who was doing that. My brother, my sister, Hopeson Adorye is doing exactly that. He was with Nana Akufo-Addo. He didn't see anything wrong with Nana Akufo-Addo. He defended him from the days of Sewa Bruni all the way through Sewa Bibini. We saw Hopeson Adorye. He was an avid supporter of Nana Akufo-Addo, at least for as long as the table was filled with food. Today, the table is empty for him, and we hear him talk a lot. He's a man I respect and love. He's been arrested by the national security, and speedily he's been taken to court. And in court, they have adjourned the case and given him a date to appear. I'm waiting to hear what he would say. Listen. How many more people? That's why I said Mahama was in a unique position. He's gone home to sit down as a former president. He's seen all those who pretended to be his friends. Now, as a man with sense in his head, he should know that the only thing that will remain is your service to the people. Friends will fade out. Very good ones will be with you. Some friends are like the night. When the night falls, you don't see them again. In fact, they are like the sun. When night comes, they fade off. Some are also like the stars. You do not see them during the daytime. They only appear when there is night, when you are in your worst period, and they are the true friends. Hallelujah. Think about it deeply. Hopeson Adorye, this is an opportunity for you to say what you have already or always kept in your stomach. But listen to some interesting thing happening here. And I need you to open your ears and listen. Now he has been arrested, right? Let us see what other people are doing. Hopeson Adorye has started speaking. He is speaking. And I need you to watch this. Interesting. My God. Hopeson Adorye's arrest politically motivated, and this is attributed to one Buaben Asamoa. I'm reading this from City Newsroom. It says a member of the Movement for Change, the former member of Parliament for Adenten constituency, Buaben Asamoa, has stated that the arrest of Hopeson Adorye is politically motivated. Hopeson Adorye, a leading member of the Movement for Change, was arrested by the police over his claim that he detonated dynamites in the Volta region during the 2016 general election. Mr. Adorye made the claim during a radio interview in Accra, which has since gone viral. In an interview with City News, Mr. Buaben Asamoa explained that Mr. Adorye was asked to visit the police headquarters on Wednesday and was later detained. He added that he accompanied Mr. Adorye to the police headquarters and stated that Adorye was asked to make a statement, spending the entire day there. However, around 6 p.m., they were told that Mr. Adorye would be detained pending further instructions from above. So, according to Buaben Asamoa, a former MP, this arrest is politically motivated. When are we going to grow up as a people in this country? This same Buaben Asamoa has been saying a lot of bad things about Nana Akufo-Addo. Now that he's been sacked from the party. When he was with Nana Akufo-Addo, Nana Akufo-Addo was a saint. Saint Akufu. They worshipped him, my brother. They cleaned his backside clean. Today, all of a sudden, you're falling out. And you are saying that this is politically motivated. What foolishness. Somebody who claimed that he detonated dynamite in his own Volta region. He's been arrested. And a man who thinks nothing but politics and about winning the next election and not necessarily about the welfare of the people, named Buaben Asamoa, says that this is politically motivated. Hey! I wish those dynamites were detonated in Buaben Asamoa's house. Then, when he loses family members and loses a leg and an arm, he would have known what is properly called political motivation. These guys, the more they talk, the more I lose hope in some of these elderly guys. How could you speak like a kindergarten boy? Everything is politically motivated. When government does not take action, hey, government is limp and impotent. When government takes action, hey, it's politically motivated. Such nonsense. It hurts me, my brother. Let Hopeson Adorye go there. He went there. He's been given bail, handcuffed, whatever it was, they are supposed to bring him back. I don't think they gave him bail because he doesn't have to be given bail. Why? To detonate more dynamites? Why should Hopeson Adorye be given bail? To detonate more dynamites? He should not even be allowed, my brother, my sister, to speak with his lawyer. No. For all you know, he's talking to the lawyer to detonate the next set of dynamites. This is serious. We are not joking, my brother. A man who said, and is on tape to have said so, that he detonated dynamites in his own Volta region, not northern region, not western region, not upper east region, but his own Volta region, to scare people away from voting for the NDC. Such a man should be handcuffed, both hands and legs. In fact, he should have shackles around his neck. With all respect, I love Hopeson Adorye, but to detonate dynamites, what were you thinking? Are you an idiot? You detonated dynamites in your own Volta region to scare people away from coming to vote, and you are proudly carrying that like a diadem on your head. Today you are only handcuffed and you are crying. His legs should also be cuffed. My brother, police should surround him night and day, should not be allowed to talk to his lawyer outside, except that the lawyer would be detained himself, because we don't know who you will talk to detonate the next set of bombs. Excuse my language. May I say this? Imagine Osama bin Laden was arrested in Ghana, and they were taking Osama bin Laden to court. Do you think they would allow Osama bin Laden to talk to his lawyer whilst he's coming from the headquarters? Nobody would even see Osama bin Laden. They will fly him in a helicopter and take him to court and fly him back, because speaking with any individual is another set of detonations. How many people agree with me? I love Hopeson Adorye. I love him, and he knows I love him. But to detonate a bomb, to detonate dynamites, I stand with Ghana. I stand with the people of the Volta region. People like Hopeson Adorye, in the days of slavery, they will be sold for cheap, sent away to go and labor on the plantations of the Americas. Your own Volta people, you decided to detonate bombs on them to scare them away. Politics is more important to you than your people in the Volta region. You are a sellout. Some guy called Asamoa Buaben 6 years and says, oh, he's politically motivated. My fault. I pray for dynamite to explode in his house tonight. I pray that dynamite will explode in the house of Buaben Asamoa. Oh Lord, you have always listened to my prayer. Let it happen. Let dynamite explode in the house of Buaben Asamoa, so he will know exactly what dynamites are and what it means to say political motivation. Hallelujah. My brother, my sister, it's time to go. I want to say thank you, but can I just look at this briefly before we leave? This one I'm reading from my Joy Online, and it says SML received 1.4 billion Ghana cedis from GRA, not the 1 billion Akufo-Addo stated. Jesus have mercy. So it means Nana Akufo-Addo did not report 400 million. The Ghana Revenue Authority has disbursed a total of 1.4 billion 202,403.56 to Strategic Mobilization Ghana Limited SML between 2018 and 2023 for its contractual services. These payments were made for 3 out of the 6 service contracts executed by SML, despite lacking approval from the Public Procurement Authority, PPA. Now, the revelation is documented on page 31 of the comprehensive KPMG report, which President Akufo-Addo officially released on Wednesday, May 22, yesterday. How many of us remember the PPA boss who himself was procurement illiterate? Ajenim Boateng. Do we all remember? He was the one who had companies. My brother, my sister, selling contracts as caught by the lenses of Manasseh, Azure, Awuni. Do we all remember? The matter went to court. Shiraj went in and confirmed that there was some illegality. And therefore, the money should be frozen. They waited for some time. He Nicodemously went back to the banks after the period had elapsed and scooped out his money, never ever to take his money to the bank. He would Cecilia Dapa his money from now. In other words, put his money under his bed, put his money in rat holes and mole holes. There is more money under our beds, more than in the banks of Ghana right now, because of political witch hunting and wizardry. My brother, they forced the president to release the KPMG report. Now, KPMG has a reputation to keep. It's out. And Ghanaians are crying foul. The president who said he was against corruption, incorruptible. Today, he's incorrigible. Hallelujah. Black Rasta, say it again. The president who told us he was too old to be corrupted and therefore he was incorruptible, we have realized now is incorrigible. Hallelujah. This is the president we have, supporting rot and crime. Our ratings on the corruption ladder gone down so deep into the abyss like the Titanic. Jesus. This is a man who speaks in tongues. When they have presidential meetings, and what meetings he starts with tongues. Ba 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 ba. Next time, my brother, my sister, you are voting for an old man, think twice. Some of them are crooks. I leave it here.